Yes.
When I was a little kid, I always imagined myself in a race car going around the track and the torque putting me back in the car. But I never once stopped and thought how much time, effort, and money is put into this building this car. Hi, my name is Dawson, and I'm here to tell you about my project. When I was 15 years old, I started working at Wagner True Value, and that's where I met my mentor, Landon Clinton. He had asked me many times to come over, and I just decided one day to go over there, and it was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life. He's taught me a lot about cars and a lot about life in general. There are many challenges when putting a car together, and that's what I like about putting together. There are many aspects of a car. One of them is weight. Depending on the type of class you run, depends on how much your car has to weigh or what track you are at. Weight placement is another one. They're lead. They weigh about 25 pounds a piece on the back, and they have to have 2 half-inch bolts in them, be painted white, and have your name and number on them. That way, if something happens and they break off, they can tell who it is. Weight transfer, when you go around the corner, you want to go around as fast as you can. And if your weight placement is not right, then it'll throw off your weight transfer too. Another aspect is tires. Depending on the type of class you run, depends on the size of tires you run. Grooved tires usually run an A-Mon and B-Mon, which is just another type of class. Generally, hobby stock and super stock do asphalt takeoffs is what drag cars run. But the way they do it, they groove them. And Landon has this tool that heats up and he makes little squares in the tires, as you can see right there. And tires are weird because they have to heat up and they have to stay cool at the same time. So in order to do that, we put vertical lines in them squares right there. That way they would rub together and cause friction between each other and they heat up. But we've later found out that by doing that, they were heating up too quick and causing the tire to go soft. Not only that, but grooving tires and buying tires that are already grooved do get really expensive. Stuff that's also expensive is gas. It's a higher octane that they run in them race cars. VP 110 is what they run in super stock. VP 116 is what they run in late model. And like I say, modified tires, they cost $268 a piece, and they buy them about every other week. Food, you have to buy food for your family to go up there when you race, because everyone gets hungry. Family, you got to pay for your family and your pit crew to get in, and that gets really expensive. Not only that, you have to pay for gas in your personal truck. And just like in anything else, there's always cheating. Traction control is probably one of the best ways that people cheat in super stock. It's just like traction control in your car. It's anti-slip. When one tire starts to slip, the other one kicks in. You try not to get it to slip, and it's been proven that traction control does increase your time. That way you are able to run faster. Now legit, there is a gentleman who runs it, and I've asked the tech guys down there why they do not take them, and he says they don't take them because they don't know where to start, and if they take him, they have to take everyone, and it just takes too long, and they don't even know where to begin. My research has led me to build my own race car. My research was over a legit speedway car, but the way we built it was just in between measurements, just around the ballpark of legits, because Landon has people buy these cars from him all over. So if we were to build it for legit, then he would have a harder time selling it. The front end part, I put front end parts on it, upper A-arms, lower A-arms, ball joints, spindles, brakes. Normally we don't run the brake lines, but his brother decided one day that he was going to buy this car from Landon and wanted the brake lines run. So we went ahead and put the brake lines on, but come to find out he actually is not going to drive it. Putting the body on was probably one of the most hardest things ever because it's really expensive and there's not a lot of room to screw up. So what Landon likes to do is as you can see over there in the corner, we measure out from the body 1 inch and fold the sheet metal over that way and underneath. That way when you run your hand underneath it, it doesn't cut you or put metal in your hand or anything else like that. Some of the challenges that I faced is time management. Landon had a race auction, and we spent a lot of time building chairs and stands and stuff like that for him. And what this race auction consists of was just old parts he had laying around, and he went and had other people actually bring parts that they wanted to sell. and had it at the fairgrounds in West Plains and auctioned all that stuff off. Another challenge I had was the rear end. The rear end we put into that car was taken out of another car, so not only that, but we had to cut it out and make it fit. We had to do a lot of adjusting to it, and it was very, very complicated. Now that I'm older and been around cars more, I understand how much time, effort, and money is put in to building a car. Thank you. That's my work side. Do my judges have any questions?
So now that you know how much it costs, you don't want to be a race car driver?
I'd just rather stick to building them.
Are you gonna build another one?
Maybe. It depends on Landon and whether he wants to or not.
What do you have to do to keep the tires hot and cold at the same time?
Like, okay, he bought this tire machine and we put it, it's like a car, it has the studs and everything that come out, and we take an impact and we drill it up there, and they puncture little holes, like it just points, little points, and we run it over the tire, and it heats up, that way it enhances grip and traction, that way when you go around the corners, you get more grip, and you don't slide or anything like that, and when you slide, you waste more tires and you run your tires faster. Yes, they are. Although asphalt takeoffs are only about $25, but the tool for them is what gets really expensive for it.
So when the tires get soft, is that when they slide?
When they get, soft or they get too hard. It's really hard
So
to
one is
drive.
straight to the other.
You don't plan to drive this car?
He actually sold this car today. Not this car. I want to drive his other one, but that's still in the process of him deciding.
Maybe, maybe not. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. I learned a lot of new things. I wasn't really good with measurements when I began, and I am a lot better now.
How much time did you put into this?
A lot. I had on my mentor hours, I had about 56 hours put into this. He had a race car that he got before the end of the season last year at Legit Speedway, and we put it together in 2 weeks. And we probably had more than 52 hours in it.
In reading your research paper for your, whatever it says here.
No, that's what it is.
Okay,
That thing.
this thing right here. Landon has actually driven since he was about 15
Yes.
at different dirt tracks around the area. So as your mentor, which still stresses me, just because I know Landon,
Having him in charge.
was that, did he try to show you the pros and the cons of doing that on your own
Yes.
with the?
He did. There's a sway bar in the front that connects the steering box and everything together. And it looks like you can put it on both ways, but I quickly learned that you cannot. The first time I put it on, it was upside down.
Well, and since Landon grew up doing this, and his dad also,
Yeah.
he was probably one of the best mentors you could have had to have built your own race car,
Yes.
because he did do this for a living out of it for a while.
And he did it for a living for about 3 months.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of stories about him.
Yes, yes. So, anyway, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Is that it? Thank you.
Great.